All right, so welcome back to Next Dev Nation. In this video, I'm actually going to take a live client call. So one of my clients for Kairos Agency is going to call me, or I'm sorry, I'm going to call them, and we're going to talk about some technical requirements for a project. I think it might be insightful for you to see how this conversation goes and maybe see how I engage with the client. If you're a subcontractor developer, communication is really important, and how you present yourself and how you communicate with your clients is very important. If you're an agency owner, a software development agency owner, this is also hopefully going to be insightful for you. This is how I like to engage with my customers and my clients, how I like to talk to them. You never know if they're going to be happy, mad, or sad. Hopefully, they're always happy. But here we go. We're going to give one of my clients a call, and we're going to talk to them about the technical requirements for a feature that they're requesting on the web app that we developed. I want to say it was like 3 years ago. So I'm going to dial up Craig here on the phone. Let's see. And let's see, Craig Gears. We're going to give him a call.
Hi, Nathan.
Hey, Craig. How's it going? How are you doing today?
Good. Have a good week.
Good,
Enjoying
good.
this nice weather here.
Yeah, awesome, man. Are you hitting the golf course?
Not yet. I was 3 times this week so far, I think. So
Okay, okay. Nice. Did you have a good 4th of July?
I did. Just kind of relaxing, hung out, just enjoyed my backyard, and had a few people over and took it easy. It was good. What about you?
Awesome. Yeah, yeah, same here. Did a little bit of traveling over that weekend. It was my daughter's second birthday, so we did that on Saturday, and then Monday just kind of hung out. Tuesday hung out in the backyard, and yeah, just try to enjoy that nice weather.
Oh, year number 2. That's got to be. It's got to be awful. I remember those years. That's when they really start to talk a lot and
Yeah, yeah,
move around, and yeah.
yeah, 2 under 2. It's a lot of fun. So but it's cool. She's doing a lot of talking and stuff now, so which is great. But yeah, so I saw Shelly's email. I saw your text message yesterday. Sorry I wasn't able to get back to you yesterday, but I was like, hey, I really need to get a hold of Craig because it sounds like there's some updates that we want to make to the platform.
Yeah, Shelley is requesting that these are kind of urgent things. I think there's no more new people coming on board, so she wants it really easy to use, these navigational links. So probably shouldn't take too much to get those plugged in there. So if Kelly can put those on her schedule today, Monday, that'll be awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
So should be able to knock them out pretty quick.
yeah, I actually have her started on that now. So I
Okay.
noticed in Shelly's email she said it was pretty urgent, and so I was like, hey Kelly, can you take a look at this and just let her know if there's any help that she needs or clarification. She can reach out to me or she can reach out to you. But I think she should have what she needs. But if she doesn't, I'll make sure that she reaches out and
The
we
only
get that
thing
set
she
up.
doesn't have probably is what KV Core link to use, and that's an easy one too. It's the existing one that's under the. Let me pull it back up here. When you go into the drop down under new KV Core CRM websites, it's the very first menu item when you go into new KV Core CRM.
Okay.
It says KV Core CRM and website tools. That's the same link that we should also put under the external links area that Shelly is requesting.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Then I ask you, bring you right to the login dialog for that platform. Okay, good. And then Shelly also asked me, this was not on the email that you got, but she said, hey, how's Nate's coming with a large ballpark estimate to put into C2S assess the broker met functionality that they have, which we find desirable. So have you spent any time in that, just kind of brainstorming what the effort might take?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we have a estimate started for it. I'd say it's partially completed. It's about 50% completed. There's a couple sections that I still need to kind of look under the hood a little bit more, just because I want to make sure whatever numbers I put in there that they're as accurate as possible. And so obviously we don't know what we don't know, but we want to get something concrete because I know that that estimate is going to be used downstream in the process of trying to make this a success, right? So
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple areas, but I do believe I have that screen recording too, so I'm kind of referencing that as well when we got on that
Okay.
Google Meet. So yeah, it's taking a little bit longer than I would like, but I'm trying to do a due diligence job and not just like throw out some random numbers, So I would expect that I should be able to have that completed before the end of next week if I could have a little bit more time, just to make sure that all the rocks are turned over, and I look under and say, hey, this is what I think it's going to take, right? Um, so does that work for you?
Yes, definitely. That's
Okay.
good timing.
Okay.
And I thought about a little bit as far as how. Here's one option is to, let's say we say, hey Nathan, let's go ahead and do this. We got funding, okay?
Yep.
To me, it kind of makes sense, and let me know if you think this sounds good to you as well. But phase one would be to incorporate the new ACH functionality that BrokerMint has that we don't have today, right?
Yep.
Just so that our users can save money, our broker offices can save money when they on their monthly ACH fees. Okay, so that's kind of a standalone implementation just to do right away to get that benefit. Okay, then phase two would be okay. Let's look at the overall platform that we have today and what kind of necessary re-engineering should we do from a design standpoint so that not only is the 3.0 City Shore Secret Success solution going to be great and improved for City Shore users, but if we start selling this platform on a wide scale, right, it needs to be completely bulletproof, right, from a performance standpoint and scalability standpoint, right? So, and you talked about too in the past that there's some new web report designs that we should incorporate to make it look even prettier and more professional looking. There's some, database cleanup that we can do. Okay. For example, taking out the old CMS that's, maybe dragging some things behind, for example, and just make things a little more streamlined, right? So to me, that's a necessary evil as well, just to make this thing really bulletproof for thousands of users. Okay.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And
There's
then
going to be some
phase
more
three
work
would
there.
be adding the new functionality that we don't have today, that things like BrokerMint has that you're trying to estimate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Go
Oh,
about it.
absolutely, it does. Yeah. On the ACH thing, I think we discussed using Stripe as a solution for that, which
Yep.
should make it more scalable. I think we're going to need to do that anyways, right? If you're going to take the platform from being an internal tool for just your company, and you're going to make it so that any of company like yours would be able to use it. And then yeah, it also makes sense that like parts of the application are going to need to be re-engineered to support more than just your organization. So that is definitely true. And as far as the reporting, like the BI and analytics, like on the dashboard, like the charts and graphs, yeah, there's definitely some improvements that we can make there as well, for sure. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
tracking with all that.
Okay, good. Yeah, the timing would be good for next week. Just even if it's a first cut, and then if you need more time to say, you know what, I think this is a good ballpark, but you know what, let me just have a couple more weeks just to provide even a greater estimate if you think you need that. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the thing too is, Craig, it is just an estimate, but we are always able to re-estimate work as we move through it, right? So
sure. Yeah.
part of that will be, hey, here's what we initially think, but provided that, investors are willing to do some of that upfront discovery work and planning work, then we get a lot more data from a project management perspective in terms of like how much time is it actually going to take, right? So because there's what I think it's going to take, and then there's what the developers think it's going to take too. And so this estimate is really what I think it's going to take, but we can always re-estimate. But I know you guys are looking for those figures so that you can make an informed decision and move forward. So I'll make sure that those figures are as accurate as I can make them, and then I'll get those over to you before the end of this next week.
Yeah, and I would just put some basic assumptions that these estimates are kind of based upon. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I used to always do is, when I was in your position, is I will say, here's the ballpark estimate, and it's just a wild guess type thing, right? It's a thoughtful wild guess, but still, it's in order to get something much more concrete, we really need to do a very thorough design blueprint phase where we really look at everything under covers a lot more in detail, and then we put the the requirements together, and then that's when we can provide much better estimates once we go through that, and we say this is what we're going to sign off for, that we're going to deliver, and we should have a better idea what it's going to take based on this whole list here that makes sense to go after right away. So
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
okay, last thing I got is tell me what's really happening now. It just seems like the last 2 or 3 months, it's getting worse. Like right now, before you called me, I opened up the application, and it took almost 2 minutes for it to load.
Really?
So yeah, and it was taking maybe 30 seconds before, and then maybe 45 seconds. But now I was kind of shocked that it took almost 2 minutes this morning. So
Okay, wow. Yeah, that does not sound good. No, it definitely should not take 2 minutes for it to load.
We need to have that addressed as the next thing, okay? So,
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, I'll check in with Kelly. I'll also check in with Nick. I'll dial up the web app myself and take a look at the time to load. There's got to be something causing that. I don't know what it is right now, but I'm sure we can get down to the bottom of it and report back.
Maybe it's just my login because I'm the one that's using Forecast Checklist the most. So maybe it's, it's adding up all the forecast checklists before it populates the dashboard, because that's one number on our report is total forecast, right?
Yeah. Is it a question for you?
Like that, where nobody else has a lot of forecasts, and maybe it's fine for them, but that's what we got to figure out is what's the events that's causing it to load really long for some people.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know, is it just that initial dashboard page, or is it like the entire application?
Just the initial dashboard page.
Okay. Yeah. My guess is
it's up, then it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. I appreciate that. Yeah, my guess is it could be a data loading issue where maybe it's just taking a while for that data to load in from the back end to the front end. But either way, I appreciate you letting us know about it. We'll take a look into that right away, and I'm sure we'll be able to get a fix deployed relatively soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
See ya.
All right. See ya. And that right there is a typical call that you can get when you are a software development agency owner or product owner. Noticed how I was very confirming, right, with a lot of the things that he said. I typically will ask for more information. I'll try to repeat back what they said in order to make sure that they know that I understood it. Really, software development clients want to know that they're taken care of. They want to know that, you got their back because they're relying on you for their tech. And so I hope that call was insightful. Craig's a really great guy. We've been working with City to Shore for well over 3 years. I have a lot of interesting stories to share with regards to that project and with this particular client. But that's how these calls can go. You have to stay cool under pressure. That was an okay call. I would say Craig was definitely not upset. He did report an issue in that same call. You always want to take that very seriously and act as professional as possible there. But yeah, so that's the typical call that you can get. And I hope you seeing how to respond to something like that might help you navigate those conversations in the future. All right. Thank you so much. Signing off.